Welcome to Iraqi Dinar Update, your go-to source for the latest news, expert insights, and real-time developments on Iraq's currency, economy, and financial reforms. Whether you're a long-time investor or just curious about the dinar, you're in the right place. Asraflak, in my view, is not addressing external analysts, observers, or casual international readers. They are not directing their message to people who are simply curious about Iraq from a distance, nor to those speculating from abroad. They are speaking directly, pointedly, and deliberately to the Iraqi citizens themselves. They are trying to convey something crucial, something that cannot be misinterpreted or diluted by foreign lenses. When they talk, it's with a tone that feels urgent, necessary, and deeply local, as if they are standing in front of a community that has waited far too long for clarity. Their message carries the weight of both opportunity and responsibility. And what they are trying to communicate, in essence, revolves around a matter that affects every household, every small business, every local market: the new exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. The decision to speak directly to the Iraqi public also implies a certain level of respect. It means the speaker believes the people are ready to hear the truth, ready to know not just the outcome, but the reasons behind the changes, perhaps even ready to accept short-term discomfort for long-term stability. By shifting the audience from the international community to the local Iraqi population, Asraflak is effectively recentering the conversation. This is not about what foreign investors think or what the dollar exchange window looks like to Washington. This is about how Iraqis will live, work, trade, and save under a new monetary regime. It also suggests that something irreversible is already in motion. You don't preface a small technical change with this level of public engagement. You don't prepare a population for a marginal tweak. No, this kind of messaging usually precedes a structural reform, one that could involve the introduction of a new currency, a shift in monetary sovereignty, or even the end of the dual exchange rate system. The fact that Asraflak is directing this message not to policy wonks or ministries, but to the people themselves suggests they are laying the psychological and informational groundwork for a large-scale reform. That reform may come with massive implications: elimination of the black market rate, full integration with SWIFT or international digital clearing systems, a managed float or free float of the dinar, or even a nominal redenomination to support domestic confidence. There's also an emotional dimension to all this. Iraqis have lived for decades with financial uncertainty. One day the dinar loses value. Another day someone announces a revaluation rumor. People have speculated, hoped, feared. What Asraflak is doing, deliberately or not, is ending the era of rumors. They are replacing it with a message that feels concrete, official, and people-centered. They are saying, this is not a secret anymore. This is your future, and you have a right to understand it. That kind of clarity is powerful. It takes the exchange rate from something abstract and elite to something personal and collective. It transforms the idea of currency reform into a national project. It means that when the change happens, whether it's a float, a new pegging mechanism, or even a full redenomination, it won't come as a shock. It will feel like the result of a process the people were invited to witness and understand. It also shows that Iraq may be entering a new phase of governance, one where the public is no longer treated as passive observers, but as participants in nation-building. One where economic policy is not dictated from abroad or imposed by technocrats, but shaped in dialogue with the citizenry. This is a kind of democratic turn in fiscal communication. It acknowledges the intelligence, patience, and resilience of the Iraqi people. It bets on their ability to absorb change and make informed decisions for their families and businesses. This is not just about money. It's about sovereignty. It's about identity. It's about who controls the narrative of Iraq's future. For years, the country's monetary policy was seen as something managed from outside. Iraq responding to IMF pressure, World Bank assessments, US Treasury opinions. Now, Asraflak's approach suggests that the center of gravity is moving inward. Iraq is beginning to speak for itself, to its own people, in its own terms. That's a profound shift. And when this new exchange rate is introduced, however it's structured, it won't just represent a number on a board at the currency exchange office. It will represent a new chapter in Iraq's self-conception. It will mark the moment the dinar is no longer just a functional currency, but a symbol of renewal. Whether the rate goes to parity with the dollar, floats against a basket, or pegs to regional currencies like the UAE dirham or the Chinese yuan, the true meaning will be found in how Iraqis relate to their own currency from that day forward. So when Asraflak talks, they are not just explaining policy. They are building confidence. They are managing expectations. They are trying to prevent panic. They are saying, yes, change is coming, but you are being brought along for the ride this time. That kind of inclusion is rare in transitional economies. It's usually the people who are left behind, left confused, left to suffer the unintended consequences. But here, Ashraf is doing something else. They are inviting Iraqis to look ahead, to see the broader picture, to imagine a country where their dinar is respected, usable abroad, trusted at home. They may not say everything explicitly. The exact numbers may be withheld for timing reasons. The mechanics may be rolled out in phases. But the intention is unmistakable: prepare the people, not just the markets. Rebuild confidence from the inside out. Turn financial literacy into a form of civic empowerment. Help Iraqis see the coming reform not as an imposition, but as a national achievement. That's why I say they are not talking to me, and certainly not to you. They are talking to the people whose daily lives hang in the balance of this reform. They are talking to Iraqis who have waited for a fair system. To the traders, the pensioners, the students, the families saving for weddings or land or a better future. They are talking to the people whose currency was devalued without their consent, whose banking system has been dysfunctional for too long. And they are saying, this time, you'll be part of the story. In the end, that's what makes this moment, and Ashraf's messaging, so important. It's not just a policy update. It's a turning point, a reckoning with the past and a signal of the future. It's an act of public dialogue that hints at a more transparent, stable, and sovereign Iraq. One in which the value of the dinar is not just determined by global markets, but by national will. Thanks for tuning in to Iraqi Dinar Update. If you found this content helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat on Iraq's evolving financial landscape. Stay informed, and stay ready.